Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. First of all, hope everybody's doing well. This is every major change that Treyarch just made to Black Ops 6 Zombies and all of the brand new Season 1 content. This includes 2 brand new weapons, which I will show you. This includes the ability to also purchase gobblegums now, and a variety of balance patches and big changes they made to certain weapon classes like the assault rifles and everything else. Now, Season 1 has just come out for Black Ops 6 this morning, and there's tons of content that got added that is completely outside the scope of Zombies, so a ton of multiplayer and Warzone stuff has been released, but we're going to be focusing on specifically Zombies today. And one of the biggest things is that directed mode is now out. So if you have not completed a map's Easter egg either on Terminus or Liberty Falls, you can actually go ahead and do this in a directed mode in which it will show you how to do the quest. It will walk you through it with objective markers. It will cap the rounds out and basically guide you through the entire main quest. However, you will not be given the highest rewards unless you do it in standard mode. Obviously, anybody wanting to do it in standard mode, I will have links in the description to do both the maps, but this directed mode will give you a rundown on how to complete a map's main Easter egg. So if you haven't gone to just tackle them, they're very easy to do now. Hop into that mode and get them done. And then when brand new maps come out in the future, they will not have the directed mode initially, but I will show you how to complete them on your own to get the highest rewards. But if you still are unable to do it, then eventually those new maps will also have directed mode. So I recommend give it a try and see what you think, and maybe it gets you into the vibe of what completing main Easter egg quests is like in Zombies. But besides that, the other Season 1 content we've got right now is obviously not the new map. That will be coming out in Season 1 Reloaded, but we've gotten 2 brand new guns, and I want to show you these really quick. We got the Saug SMG, originally seen in Black Ops 4, and this was actually a weapon you could start with in that game, and it wasn't very good. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like the Saug that much in BO4, but in Black Ops 6, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I used this first, and it's not too bad. I think the SMG class is pretty good in BO6 overall. There's a couple of them I don't love, and the thing with the Saug is that it doesn't shoot quite as fast as some of the other SMGs, but it hits really hard. The strange thing I noticed is this has some of the worst mobility and handling of any SMG in the class, and I'm not totally sure why. Like, it is a powerhouse. This was kind of hitting when I was using it, but it doesn't really move all that well. It kind of feels like I'm holding an SMG, or at the very least an AR. It was kind of strange from a mobility perspective, and of course, you can fix that a little bit through perks and attachments and so on, and obviously I'm showing you a little bit of mix of gameplay with and without attachments. But either way, I thought it was an okay weapon. I think it's pretty good to use. I would rank it maybe like higher than average in the SMG class, but still maybe not one of the greats in the entire Black Ops 6 roster right now. But I recommend giving it a try if you unlock it in the Battle Pass. Give it a go, and it's certainly not a bad option. Now, also, the hand cannon from Cold War has been added to the crafting table, but it needs to be unlocked through an event, so you can't just get it via leveling up. It actually has to be unlocked through a very specific event, which is similar to a couple of attachments we're getting. Now, we did get the 12-gauge Dragon's Breath in the Battle Pass. Now, this is an attachment that will go on your weapons that is basically an underbarrel shotgun that has incendiary shells that will kind of like stick fire damage to your enemies. It's pretty good, and it is in the game right now. But when we get the Season 1 Reloaded update, we're also getting a buffer weight stock, an XM4 burst fire conversion kit, and a compact 92 burst fire conversion kit. I don't think these are going to be that relevant for Zombies. Most of them, I mean, the underbarrel shotgun maybe, but the other conversion kits most likely not. Now, the other brand new weapon we got is similar to the Krig 6 from Black Ops Cold War, if you remember that. It was a base game assault rifle. This is the Krig C. This just got added, and I have to say, this is one of my favorite weapons already. Like, this is really good. I was genuinely shocked. So, not only did the assault rifles get a buff, which we'll talk about in a moment, but the Krig 6, or the Krig C in this game, is, you know, obviously going to take part in that. And I noticed that the mobility, the handling, the damage per bullet was absolutely insane. This is probably going to be one of the best guns to use in Zombies. I highly recommend trying to get this one unlocked because it is very good. This is obviously locked behind the Battle Pass, but if you're able to get your hands on this one, I would highly advise using it in Zombies. It is a very good zombie weapon. I can't really speak to it in multiplayer right now. I haven't used it yet there, but in a zombie weapon, as far as I'm concerned, this is an actual like S-tier gun. So very good here. Certainly better than the Saug, even though that one's pretty good too. But the Krig 6, W for me. The other thing is, though, the reason why it might be so good is because of the recent buff that Treyarch gave to assault rifles. Now, they said in the patch notes that the most recent update, which nerfed assault rifles, that was mostly for multiplayer, but that that accidentally ended up carrying over to zombies, which was an unintended side effect. They didn't really mean to nerf the ARs and then buff the SMGs for zombies as well. That was just an MP change, but they said they won't really be doing that anymore. So they actually buffed the assault rifles again. And what we can see here is not only did almost all of them have their base damage increase, and their overall critical damage has also been upped. This is a very good change. I will say that this has been excellent to see. Now, rounds, I don't know, 1 to 25, maybe 30, I could certainly tell a difference. The ARs were certainly hitting a lot harder, even though, because that was a weapon class that I've said in previous videos were struggling a little bit. Like, I wasn't super impressed with the assault rifles in this game, and they are up to standard now for the most part. But I'm gonna say it doesn't make a crazy difference when it comes to high rounds. So when you get anywhere past like 35, 40, stuff like that, I mean, the ARs are still not going to be like, they're not going to be cooking exactly. They're good still, but they're not amazing. I still think there's better high round weapon options, and at a certain point they kind of feel like they used to. Like, it's not a massive difference at a certain point in the rounds. But in the early game, and I think what most people are going to be playing usually, especially for Easter egg runs, 1 to 30 is that, you know, sweet spot there. The assault rifles do feel better, and I'm just saying that anecdotally, but they've also literally been buffed too. But after that point, it's hard to really tell a difference. They still feel kind of weak and kind of underpowered, if you ask me. As you can see here, all of the different changes to the assault rifle, some of the ones that really got a big time update were like the GPR 91, which is awesome because I love that weapon. I thought it was fantastic to begin with, and it's even better now. I went and used it, you know, just a couple hours ago, and it's great. The AS Val is another weapon where it's like, yeah, it got buffed. I don't really love this assault rifle, and it's still not incredible, but it's better than it was for sure. Also, weirdly enough, the HE1 got a giant buff as well. Now, I'm not totally sure if you can even get this weapon out of the box still, because that was like a thing. I'm pretty sure, you know, you couldn't even get this weapon from the mystery box. You'd have to spawn in with it. And I don't know if they actually put this in the mystery box, but it's been massively buffed because it was very weak beforehand. So that's something good as well. Now, they also addressed a handful of bug fixes. For example, you know, zombie builds off camos now. You can't do the mule kick exploit anymore and stuff like that. Also, interestingly enough, ended up fixing a bunch of things with certain augments. So for example, the turtle shell juggernog augment, you would still get one shot by amalgams. That no longer happens if you're using that augment, and that was one of the things that made that almost entirely useless. So I'm glad to see that get changed. Also, another big one is that they reduced the self damage from the LDBR score streak that you would get, right? These rockets you call down from the sky would pretty much always insta kill you. They've significantly nerfed the self damage of that, which is good. And a big one here is they have finally buffed Dark Flare. My God, I was about to complain about this in a video, but now I can't because, you know, I just thought that that was incredibly weak, and they've buffed the flare tick per damage from 20% to 40%, which is a massive increase. So Dark Flare is maybe still not the best, but it's at least viable now, because I would argue it wasn't even viable before, so I'm happy to see that. Now, there's also like a giant laundry list of miscellaneous bug fixes that most of you guys aren't going to find very interesting. However, what you might find interesting is that for some reason on Terminus, they got rid of this ammo box that's right next to Deadshot, which is annoying because I find myself buying that one quite a lot when I'm going to turn on the power. Like, it became like part of my game plan, but that one has been removed for some reason, and I don't think it was in the patch notes, so I'm not really sure why they did that. But, you know, I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check out the bug fixes as well. But also, yes, you can purchase Gobblegum now in the shop. You can buy 3 different packs, and if you buy this big expensive one, it gives you every single red Gobblegum and every single orange one. So you can now just outright purchase these. You don't even have to roll for them like a Nebulium Plasma or Liquid Divinium. You can just outright buy them from the store. And so if you're looking to get more Perkaholics or more Ultra Gobblegum, you can certainly pick them up here. They're not totally cheap though, so, you know, just bear that in mind, but they are purchasable now. Anyways, not going to take up much more of your time. I know how valuable it is. I just wanted to make a quick, concise Season 1 video to show you everything you needed to know. If you guys enjoyed this, just subscribe to the channel, leave a like, that'd be great, and I will have plenty more Black Ops 6 Zombies content coming your way. Very exciting stuff coming. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.